With SBR contributor John Ryan from johnryansports.com, doing our football openers show that we do every Monday with him. We just got finished talking about college football week 13. Now we're going to move on to NFL week 12. John, how did you do in your thread last week?
We did well. We got very lucky though, Peter. We had Tennessee who backdoored there.
Yeah.
Either a push or a win, 2-1. But then I had a change of mind actually Sunday night. I went with the Eagles for a 10-star.
So what? You went 3-1?
3-1.
Wow. So what are you all overall now?
Well, we had a miserable weekend the weekend before, so we're sitting right there at 63%.
All right. Hey.
I'm real pleased with that.
Good for you. Not too shabby. Let's look at some of these lines. The first line I want to ask about, by far the most interesting line to me on the card, is the Denver-San Diego game. Now, both of these teams were involved, in my opinion, in two of the most obvious good bets last week, which was Denver over the Jets and then San Diego as a fade against Chicago. Now Denver is a 6.5-point underdog on the road at San Diego. Where do you think this line's going to go? You think it's going to go up to 7? Do you think it's going to get bet down way down to like 3 even?
I think it's going to get bet down a little bit. Philip Rivers is having the worst stretch of football that any quarterback could ever think of having.
I mean, San Diego is just, in general, it's in shambles. I mean, Dave Golikoff said that on the experts roundtable. Gino Bisconti said it on the square table. The Bears were the top pick in the Hilton contest. I know that. San Diego is just in shambles. So why should they be almost a touchdown favorite here?
I'm not really sure. And I will admit, I had San Diego this past week. I think I was probably the only one in the entire world that thought San Diego could beat Chicago. And I paid dearly for it.
Yeah.
However, the San Diego defense, I thought, played very well. As bad as the offense was executing, and Philip Rivers must have been seeing double or triple or something. I don't know what he was even throwing at sometimes.
Maybe he's on drugs.
I don't know. Some of the throws were bizarre.
Yeah.
Even for a quarterback that's struggling, when you're struggling, you would just throw the ball away. So why they're a 6.5-point favorite, I guess has a lot to do with the fact that nobody trusts Tebow either.
Right.
I think San Diego might have the defense to do it. The whole key to that read option, as we know, is the defensive ends have to be responsible for containment. They can't be rushing up the field thinking that it's pass and looking for the sacks. Vince Young actually ran that a couple times last night, although he did not keep the ball because the defensive end maintained his discipline and forced Vince Young to hand it off. Now with Denver, there's a lot of times where those defensive ends are not making the right move. They're getting too far upfield, and that gives Tebow a big lane to run through. So if there is really a defense that could kind of slow down the Tebow effect, it might be San Diego.
Well, about the other lines on the card, are there anything that caught your eye?
Well, we all want Indianapolis to win a game, and this actually may be the week they do it against Carolina. That line opened at 3. It's being bid up to 4, but a tremendous amount of money from the public, and this isn't sharp money from what I've seen, is on Carolina. And anybody who's been following me for any stretch of time knows that I like to be a contrarian against the public.
Well, I'll tell you, talking to Doc in my calls, the Sharps have been on Indianapolis for a number of weeks now, and they've gotten burned each week. But yeah, this might be the week they do it, especially if they can copy some of the success that other teams have had against Cam. There's a lot of 3.5, 4-point lines this week, and a lot of 7-point lines. So which lines are there? Any lines that you think are likely to move? Which of the 3.5, 4-point lines do you think might move onto or off of a key number?
The one I'm going to watch closely, Peter, is San Fran, Baltimore. San Fran has, at least on my database, has set the all-time record now for being 9-0-1 against the number. But this is a very tough assignment for San Fran. Baltimore has a defense that San Fran has not seen.
Right.
So this may be the week to take a look at playing Baltimore, especially if that line gets bet down to 3, which is where I'm seeing it at 2 places right now as we speak.
Yeah, it looks like
that opened at 4.5.
Okay, great. Good luck in your thread once again this week, and I'll talk to you next week, John. Thanks.